Imagine this for a second. You push open a set of heavy doors, you step out of a building, and bam, the blinding sun just hits you right in the face. You're squinting, kind of disoriented, you reach into your pocket, pull out your phone, the screen lights up, and it's 11 a.m. But wait, you were absolutely certain it was still the middle of the night. So what happened? You didn't just lose track of time, you didn't just casually misplace a few hours. No, you were systematically, very carefully, led into a highly engineered psychological state.
Welcome to Market Mind Lab.
Section 1. The Black Box Model. You know, the real mystery here isn't actually why time disappears. It's why players willingly surrender it to such a claustrophobic environment.
To understand this, we've got to look at the guy who pioneered the whole theory. His name was Bill Friedman. Now, Friedman was a former gambling addict who somehow managed to turn his own personal obsession into the casino industry's definitive textbook on design. His argument was super radical at the time, but incredibly effective. Basically, he said the only thing that matters is the machine. To Friedman, any attention a player pays to the walls, the ceilings, or, the sun outside is literally just wasted potential profit.
So how did this actually translate into the architecture? Well, Friedman designed these early casinos as literal mazes. We're talking super low ceilings, winding, totally unpredictable paths, and absolutely no visible exits anywhere. In his world, this architecture was built to completely wipe out what psychologists call behavioral friction. It's meticulously crafted to keep your attention locked onto one solitary activity, making sure your focus literally never wavers from that game sitting right in front of you.
But it goes deeper, because the total absence of windows isn't just some clever psychological trick. It's actually a highly practical operational necessity. Think about it. Natural daylight is messy. It creates this unpredictable, super annoying glare on slot machine screens, reflects off playing cards, and just completely disrupts the games. Plus, you can't mount a heavy security camera on a glass wall, right? You can't support a cashier line, and you definitely can't push a massive bank of slot machines up against it. So removing windows just completely maximizes all that valuable floor real estate.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate goal of that black box design, deleting human checkpoints. By getting rid of the sun, by hiding the morning traffic, the casino actively deletes your natural biological cues to leave. You lose the sunsets, you lose the fading daylight. And without those natural cues, you just slip into this trance-like state. This is exactly why you might eventually walk out of the building genuinely shocked by what time it actually is.
Section 2. Myths and sensory anchors. Let's look at the balance between oxygen and illusion.
Let's pivot for a second and investigate probably the most famous urban legend in the gambling world. I am sure you have heard this one. The idea that extra oxygen is secretly pumped into the room through the AC vents to keep players alert and awake. Well, I hate to burst that bubble, but it's a complete myth. It was actually popularized by a 1978 novel called Fools Die. I mean, just think about the sheer logistics of it for a second. A typical mega casino holds about 1 million cubic liters of air. Raising the oxygen level in a space that massive would cost tens of thousands of dollars every single day. And more importantly, it would create an absolutely catastrophic fire hazard that would violate every single insurance policy in the state. The truth is, the industry doesn't need to pump in extra oxygen to control you.
They use a hidden mechanism that's way more subtle. It's known as sensory conditioning. Researchers over at the University of British Columbia made this startling discovery. They found that the flashing lights and those cheerful little jingles, the bells and whistles of a slot machine, they actually change your brain activity. These sensory inputs totally bias your attention, pulling your focus completely away from the cold, hard mathematical reality of the game. So when these sounds are blasting, players pay significantly less attention to their actual odds of winning, which naturally leads to way riskier decision-making.
But here's the crazy part. It isn't just about what you see and hear. It's about what you smell. And this number is just staggering. A landmark study revealed that simply introducing a pleasant scent into this specific environment can increase revenue by 45%. 45%. That scent creates a subtle little sensory bubble. It doesn't force people to play faster or anything. It simply makes them comfortable enough to stay longer, without even realizing it.
Section 3. The playground illusion. Let's take a look at the new casino model. Over the last 20 years or so, this major contradiction has emerged in the industry. Those dark, claustrophobic layouts of the past, they are slowly being abandoned by modern Las Vegas mega resorts. The old black box model is being actively replaced by this new playground philosophy. You see this have incredible properties like the Wynn or the Bellagio. They're doing the exact opposite of what Bill Friedman preached. They feature massive high ceilings, wide open avenues, and most importantly, giant windows pouring in natural light.
Why? Because designers realized the old claustrophobic mazes were actually repelling wealthy tourists. By creating a feeling of luxury and openness, they make players feel restored and safe. And here is the hidden mechanism. That sense of comfort surprisingly increases your risk tolerance. When you feel totally safe, you are far more likely to increase your bet sizes.
But don't let the sunlight fool you. The crucial point to understand here is that whether the room is a dark, windowless maze from the 1980s or this beautiful sun-drenched luxury resort today, the ultimate architectural goal remains precisely the same: time on device. They just want to maximize the exact number of minutes your attention is captured.
Section 4. The pocket clock problem and how the industry adapts to smartphones.
We really need to shift our focus to how the casino industry confronted its greatest modern threat, the smartphone. Because your phone is essentially the ultimate, inescapable exit cue. Designers didn't fight the technology, though. No, they adapted to it. They integrated the smartphone directly into the furniture itself. The hidden mechanism here is absolutely brilliant. They actually added wireless chargers right into the button decks of the slot machines. And by doing this, they ensure your phone stays face down, physically anchored to the game. It perfectly prevents your screen from suddenly lighting up with a text message or a news alert that might remind you of the outside world and trigger that impulse to finally leave.
See, the system is just patiently waiting for this exact psychological state: ego depletion. This is that moment when your decision-making capacity and your willpower just completely run out after prolonged periods of focus. As the hours tick by without you even noticing, your cognitive defenses start to fade. The rational choice to, stand up, cash out, and walk away, it gets quietly replaced by impulsive action. So you stay, just for one more spin.
Section 5. A world without clocks. Let's look beyond the casino floor.
If you think this psychological blueprint is confined strictly to Vegas, well, it's time to expand our lens. Because these mechanisms have completely escaped the casino floor. These exact same principles are now standard practice in our everyday lives. Think about it. We see them in the winding, disorienting layouts of shopping malls, which are carefully constructed to pull you past more storefronts. We see them in airport terminal navigation systems, completely turning waiting passengers into a captive retail audience. And most powerfully of all, we see it right in the palm of your hand. The infinite scroll on your social media feed is literally the modern digital equivalent of a windowless room. It is a space meticulously designed without a stopping point. It's engineered to make you stay just a few seconds longer. Again, and again, and again. And this beautifully illustrates our core takeaway from this explainer. The architecture, whether it's physical drywall or lines of digital code, it doesn't force anyone to stay. Nobody is physically locking you inside. Instead, it just simply, quietly removes every natural reason for you to ever leave. In a space meticulously stripped of time, well, the house always has more time than you do.
So the next time you find yourself wandering through a massive department store, endlessly scrolling a social feed on your couch, or sitting in any physical space with no visible exit, I want you to take a moment to really look around. Ask yourself this: are you playing the game, or have you simply forgotten to leave? Let me know your thoughts on how these hidden designs affect your daily life down in the comments below.